Hey everybody, John here. Welcome to the Mack Brothers Podcast. This is going to be a very short episode because Matthew has decided to become a monk. Well, some backstory. He decided to become a monk on Thursday. Um, and he moved to Tibet. He packed his bags and he got rid of all his material possessions besides a few of his Mack Brothers cups and some items and a zune filled with the Mack Brothers songs, including Drinkin In Work, which is out now, and That'll Do, which is on the short music for even shorter attention spans, which is on Bandcamp. Um, but yeah, so that's all that Matthew took with him, and then he realized yesterday that he don't want to be a monk anymore, so he dropped out of the school. He's on his way back, so hopefully by Friday he'll be um, back in the Mack Brothers. But right now, I'm by myself for today. Um, and I just want to go over real quick. Today was a wild day. First off, rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor. Um, kind of a rebel, ripping up the Pope's picture. Um, had the great song "Nothing Compares to You." I don't know too much extra about her other than she seemed to uh, fight the authority. She didn't like the religion. I don't like religion. Um, Good voice. So R.I.P. So that was usually that's the kind of news you get. Like that level of news is what you get in a day. But then we had Mitch McConnell have a mini stroke or whatever it actually was. It looked like a mini stroke. Um, and he just kind of froze at the podium. He was probably spewing propaganda, um, and even though he's bad for the country, you don't want to see no one do anything, something like that happen. Uh, I disagree with him, and I think he's a snake. But um, he shouldn't. He's too old. He's too old. Biden's too old. Trump's too old. Um, Pelosi retired, but she was too old. Feinstein's too old. There's too many old fucks running the government. Shit like this happens. Not only does it make us look weak, but it's kind of elderly abuse that these people are still forced. They're not forced because it's their greed, and the party's greed. Both sides that are keeping them going because no one that old and that um, stuck in their corporatism ways wants any real change. So that both parties, any younger progressives that are coming up, and even not younger progressive, any progressives in general that would actually change the country, they are using their power, their money, um, and they're crushing them. They're spreading lies. I just watched a video today that Matthew sent me on the plane ride back from Tibet. Um, it was basically the severe propaganda that is being spread about RFK Jr. And we're Cornell West and Marianne Williamson people on this podcast, so we're not. RFK would be my third choice if I was voting today, but he's not. What he said about what he said, there are legit papers from legit sources that state that. Um, and you know what I think a lot of it is too, and no one wants to say it. RFK sounds fucked up. His voice sounds fucked up. It's a little bit more difficult for him to articulate what he's trying to say, and sometimes, like if you're he should be playing a smarter political game, but um, a lot of the shit that he's saying, he's whether there's I don't know if those sources are correct, but he's reading them from legit sources. These are legit presses. These are legit doctors, and they're saying these things about. I'm triple vaxxed. You know what I mean? I'm not anti-vax, but there should be room for people to say um, things in that arena that actually have some substance to them. and the DNC is trying to crush him the same way they crushed Bernie, and it's quite frankly disgusting. And like I said, we're pro Cornel West on this pod. We're pro Marianne Williamson, not RFK people. But I don't. I think when you take everything he said out of context, it looks really fucked up. But when you actually listen to everything he said, and you see that there's shit attached to it, that it's coming from legit sources, whether they're correct or not, that's what he's saying. So, and that's what he's stating, and he's not misquoting the sources that he's getting it from. And I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm not even like really all that into politics. It's more Matthew's thing, and thank God he'll be back from Tibet. Hopefully a little bit more wise, but who knows. But speaking of conspiracy, maybe the longest running conspiracy of all time is getting further and further, or it's getting closer and closer from being a conspiracy to fact. And we had 3 whistleblowers today, internal intelligence agent, whatever their title was. They came out and basically said UFOs are real. The government has the UFOs. We got a bunch of UFOs. We got the alien bodies. Aliens actually injured or maybe killed. I don't remember. I didn't watch the thing in succession. I didn't watch the full thing. I seen little clips. I had quite a busy day myself, which I guess I'll talk about in a minute. But there's aliens, people. They exist. They're real. I don't know. I think I don't think that just say something really did happen. These aliens showed themselves. I don't know if even the corporate, like, legit aliens can't deny it. It's not is that what the fuck was that in the sky? No, like there's something happens that is not human. How even the amount of greed and bullshit that all these politicians do, and they want to stuff their pockets and they want to crush the poor people and eat their children. But even at that level, you still, if you see something like that, how don't you group together as a bunch of humans and really go, all right, we need to put our differences aside and figure out how are we going to defend ourselves from aliens. I just noticed if you're listening on audio, I actually just realized my glasses, the way I turn my head a little bit, sometimes make it don't look like I have an eyebrow. I do have eyebrows, for the YouTube folks watching. I do have eyebrows. Yeah, so aliens are real. And while I was finding out that aliens were real, I also bought a used vehicle from a friend. It runs really well. I'm very happy and I'm grateful. My last car was an expensive, not a sports car, but had sports car capabilities. It was a Kia K5. It was brand new. And it was totaled. I was at a red light and it got totaled. It broke my heart, but I do not any longer have, what kind of sentence was that? I don't have a car payment anymore. And when we joke and say we want to be millionaires, it's not a joke in real life. That's what I'm and Matthew, but I got to jump a little bit. I'm a little bit older, you know what I mean? But I got a little bit more of a lead in that in life. And I feel really positive money-wise about where I'm at right now. I don't carry cash. No one please rob me. And the cars I'm in, I was flashy for about a year. And then I decided I don't need to be flashy because I want to build generational wealth Um, so uh, I didn't have a choice in the matter. The car was totaled. I got a payout. The other people's insurance paid for the whatever what I still owed on the car, and I got some extra money. I put it all into I created a nest egg for me and my family, and then I um, had some left over. I bought this used vehicle from it was a if anyone's listening that works in Pennsylvania, it was a gift. Um, but it's I think it's important to talk about these things from someone who's I mean eventually if people start actually listening to this more than people that actually I guess know me and us, it's important to know where people start, I think, before they get to a certain level. And I think it's kind of interesting for people that are in a similar level to see um, what other people are doing without being too specific. But um, I I'm learning kind of from Jay-Z, I guess, is someone who has unlimited money, but he kind of looks like he don't look homeless, but he don't look like he has what he has. Bill Gates looks like like a like a what does Bill Gates look like? A person that don't have as much money as he does. Um, I'm never gonna have Bill Gates money because I don't plan on crushing anyone's soul. Because I think if you're a billionaire, you are truly. It's impossible to become a billionaire unless you are earning money that you don't deserve from workers that are getting paid severely less than you. It's like literally impossible to be a billionaire without hurting workers. But to become a millionaire, uh, I'm going to become a millionaire. And it's happening. And this is the start. And I got a nice start. And I'm excited for it. This is just, what do they call it? This is a manifesto. Without Matthew, I go off the rails. And I don't think before I speak. And then I try to think, but then you hear a lot of uhs, which I'm also trying to work on. Yeah, so savings, good. I just found out I had a 401, not a 401k. I have a 401k with my company, but I just found out that, not found out, I knew I had it, but I had an IRA. I got an IRA rollover thing from a previous job in the mail. And it wasn't a lot of money, but it was money that I forgot even existed. And it was maybe accruing $2 a month. Because I guess it's a rollover. I don't know how it works, but I thought to myself, I have my nest egg. I have money to live that's not in the nest egg. I have extra money besides that for fun. I really do have. I'm very blessed right now. What am I going to do with the IRA money that I didn't even know existed? So I turned it into I don't know if I turned it into a brokerage account, but I made it accessible to invest in other things. So I invested in Vanguard. I think it's VUG is the symbol, and it's like $290 a share, $280 a share. So I bought multiple shares in it with the IRA money, and now I'm just going to let it accrue and keep building forever until I want to take it out and liquidize it and buy something really cool with it. Or, maybe I'll keep investing into it, and then it could be worth like a shit ton of money. And then I can really start making some splashes. But that's the long game. The short game right now is that I got a steady income. We're never going to stop making music. We're never going to stop podcasting. We just got too much uh, we're just too excited that we like talking to people. We like talking to each other. We think our music is good. We think our thoughts are interesting. We have an interesting, unique way of thought because of where we're from, the shit that we've been through as kids, and what we've seen, and now we're both in in the security management field. That's not it's not like tech where it's super lucrative, but you can really if you can navigate correctly, you can make some money. And I'm actually in an even higher role. It's not just security anymore, but what I'm trying to say is apply yourself, take care of yourself, be gentle to yourself, because um, even as blessed as I've been, there's been a lot of hard work. It wasn't just blessings. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of, and it's a bad word, and it's not. I wish it wasn't like this, but it was capitalism. I When people were, I guess it's not really capitalism, because I don't know. I don't know the broad definition. I know the capitalism now where billionaires exist, and some families can't eat for a whole like 2 nights. That's fucked up, and that's not how, there should be better systems. I think there are better systems that just get crushed by the corporate elite. But anyway, that's not for this conversation because my brain's half melted. But I hustled during COVID when everyone was nervous, which they should have been, because I was nervous too. But I got out there. I jumped job from job. I kept acquiring different skills, different things to put on a resume, and I kept turning it into more and more and more and more. And now I am luckily at a spot where the growth there. I guess there is a cap. I'm never going to own the company, but the growth for where I started was almost unheard of. And then and the music that the money that I'm making there, besides what keeps everyone alive in my family, is going towards the music. We literally couldn't afford the $18 a month before to put the podcast on platforms. We didn't really even think that, we didn't want to pay for. There's a couple things that we pay for that we didn't think that, we couldn't afford at the time, that now we can afford, that's going to progress our career. So I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm feeling good. And this is the John's Positivity Corner. Buy League Island Brewing Club beer. The link will be in the description. Drinkin In Work is out now. Coming out with new music shortly. Matthew will be back from Tibet any day. I think I'm gonna end the podcast. There's no. Usually we have an intro song, which is "On My Heart," which is also out everywhere. It's a joke song about a real life incident where Justin Bieber ran my foot over with a, what are they called? Them scooter things. And then making fun of Katy Perry. It's all fun. So that's out. That's usually the intro. Matthew usually has the intro. He's not here. He's on a plane back from Tibet. So I'm going to actually leave you with a little parting gift. This is the 30-second song that we wrote for 30-second... what is it called? Short songs for even shorter attention spans. Curated by Bees. Let me just give this a shout out real quick because I don't want to misquote it. It'll also be in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Where the fuck is it at? If you go on Instagram and type in Short Music 4, the link will be there as well. This is a lot of fun, and this will be on Spotify soon as well when the other new song drops. But this is That'll Do. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care. See how tired I am? Take care of yourselves. Stormy weather or skies are blue. Same old, something new. You're my constant, and that'll do. Yeah, that'll